Hello everyone, my name is Tugger, and welcome back to our Russian Fishing 4 float fishing character. Today is a nice, just started rainy day here at Old Burg, and I figured we'd go after some white bream and see what happens. So you may notice my food's a little bit low. I logged in earlier today, and then forgot I'd logged in, stepped away to go hit the restroom, and forgot I'd logged in. So food was down to nothing, so slowly building that back up, but thought about going after more carp. I did buy some supplies to do ground bait, but I thought I had leveled up and could put some points in and forgot I hadn't leveled up. So wanted to try to get to level 13 today so that we can put a couple points into making ground bait for gibbles and crucians. So I did buy a cage to put on our bottom rod and the supplies to make 10 portions of gibble and crucian ground bait, but don't really have the skill points to put in and would rather wait until I can put skill points in than not put skill points in. So putting skill points into crucian or into ground bait gives you better quality ground bait, and I think it's worth it. So we're gonna set up down here. Saw this on VK, figured it was worth a try. They are using sandwich baits. I'm just going to use straight pearl barley. They do have strong, longer rods than I do. So kind of casting right out here past the lilies is the goal. I do have size 8 hooks on. Exact same thing on the two rods. Again, rod 1 has monofilament line. Rod 2 has fluorocarbon line. I don't know if it's going to matter. And this I'll just throw out on sweet dough with a big hook and see if we can catch something. With the rain, I don't know how this is going to go, but figured it's worth a try. And if it doesn't go well, we'll just cut some clips out of this and do something else. So far, it's looking good, though. Oh, that's awesome. First fish is a trophy white bream and a good trophy white bream. 869-gram white bream. That might even be a weekly record. We'll see in a second. That was on fluorocarbon. Seeing another bite. I missed it. So if you're curious, this is a setup I have on both of them. About 7 kilo line. Both of them have a happy hook size 8 on. And both rods are using pearl barley. Again, I've got fluorocarbon line here and monofilament here. Doesn't look like it's going to be a weekly record, unfortunately. I haven't gone to look, but since it hasn't popped up, this is another good fish. Did we just get 2 back-to-back trophies? No, that was a common carp. That's why. 2 kilogram common carp. Almost makes me want to put pearl barley on that 1/0 hook on the bottom rod. So definitely going to get level 13 today if this keeps up. Small crucian. Let's go look at weekly records for white bream. Right now, they are 1.1 kilo for overall. Regional wise, I'm in the States. White bream. I do have the number 2 US. Nice. I will take that. Just looking to see if it had popped up yet. It's amazing that the first fish we catch is a trophy. Already feel accomplished for the day. Decent crucian. Not really what we're going after here, but not bad either. Both of them are at 1.3 meters deep as well. And for rainy conditions, I think that's actually going to help us. Usually night fishing is best for bream and white bream. So, but definitely a good day. Much experience. It doesn't say here. And I missed a fish on one while I was checking that. Oh well. I am going to switch this over. I saw the float sliding across the water there. Is that a chub? Yeah. All right, everyone. I'm back. Not exactly sure what's going to happen with the video, but I did just have a pretty good internet crash that took myself out. So it does look like I got some recording saved off. We'll figure out exactly what happens afterwards here. I may record another between segments here, but I am logged back in. So I did completely crash. I actually had to reboot. My internet went out for about 5 minutes here. Heard some sirens afterwards, so I wonder if there was a car crash nearby. But if it didn't get saved, I haven't watched what did and didn't. We did catch a pretty nice white bream on our first fish of the day. So I'm very, very happy about that. I forgot to put a screen on a different window, so scrolling that around. We did, first fish of the day was a trophy white bream. So I'm going to go back to the same spot we were just at and see what we can catch. So it looks like when I crashed, none of my equipment got damaged or broken, which is good. I actually had to hold the power button down to reboot. That's how bad whatever happened was. Kicked me off the Wi-Fi. My power dropped right after I power cycled my computer too. So it was a fun whatever happened. So 1438 over here, right by these lilies. I had pulled this out to switch it over to pearl barley, and I'll put a size 4 hook on it. Pearl barley. And what's the clip? Set a clip to 8 on it, and we'll toss that out. I hope that trophy catch did get recorded. It looks like it did. It looks like I've got 9 minutes of footage from before. So we'll come back and see. But otherwise, Again, not exactly sure what got saved, what didn't. I've got size 8 hooks on both of these rods with pearl barley. We're going after white bream. Here's what we caught so far. First fish was a white bream over on, it was on rod 2, which is our fluorocarbon rod, and was definitely a nice fish to be the first one to pull out of the water. So today's goal is to get up to level 13. Spend the skill points we do get from that on ground bait, and then make some ground bait and cast out the feeder rod with ground bait included as well. So, or at least that'll be next time. I did buy the supplies for ground bait, and I bought a cage for the feeder rod to use the ground bait, and then realized I didn't have skill points. So that's kind of my thought here is let's see what we can catch white bream overnight, and then in the morning we'll go for crucians and gibbles. Hopefully we'll have hit level 13 by then and can use ground bait and see if that makes any difference going for trophies there, and also see what the weather is going to be like here at Old Burg tomorrow. Right as I started recording before it started raining. As far as the weather goes, it looks like it's going to rain for the next few days in game. So it's early afternoon on October 16th, my time. I'm in the United States here. So got everything set up. We'll see how things go. Was taking a drink and didn't have a hand on the keyboard to switch. Little small eyed there. If it didn't capture it before, we did get right now at least, we're second place US Weekly for white bream. So I'll take that. It was a good fish to catch. This fog is making my eyes burn. It's so bright. I'm definitely a dark mode type of person. With the rain, I expect it'll be a little bit slow. And white bream fishing in general can be a little bit slow too. So we'll see how things go today. But already it started out a great day with that trophy. As far as to level up, we only need 460 experience points, so just a couple of fish. Especially if they're white bream, since white bream are a little bit more rare. Does it show? No, it doesn't show the white bream that we caught. I was hoping it would show experience points here, but it doesn't look like it. I can't remember. I didn't look because we were getting a second bite at the same time, too. Another reasonable fish. Still small, but getting the chub down here, too. So that's always fun to do on float fishing. Been catching a bunch of those spin fishing over on my other account. We got a really good one earlier today. So if you are interested in that, there is a spin fishing playlist linked down below. In the latest episode, episode 6 of that, got a pretty decent, almost trophy chub on the free starting spinning reel. Had another chub? I think so. Yep. Marker chub, 284 experience points. Words I didn't expect to say float fishing. Three. Another marker chub. We're up to 35.3 on float fishing. Did not expect chub on pearl barley. Wanted to make sure it actually had pearl barley on. With the crash, I wasn't 100% sure everything saved the way it was before. I just messed that bite up. That one was on me. I'm not going to even blame the game for that one. Decent fish. Looked like a roach. Yep. We're up to level 13. So got it on a reasonable roach here. So like I said, I do want to go put points into making ground bait. I would like to get 3 points in. Looks like I only get 1 here. Our second float is sliding across the water, and I didn't switch over to it in time. Definitely a fish on it. I just was not in a position to be able to pull it in. So what I'm thinking here, and this is what I honestly initially planned on doing today, was to be going carp fishing in the same spot we were in the last episode, but this time use ground bait on the bottom rod. So to make ground bait, press in as in November. You can mix your own up, but they do give you some kind of recommended mixes, and Crucian Gibble is the entry level. So I bought crackers, millet porridge, and sunflower oil. So I bought 10 of each of crackers and millet porridge. That's the second option. You can buy 1 portion, 10 portions, 100 portions. And then sunflower oil came in 5 portion bundles for the cheapest. So I bought 2 of those. So that gives us 10 sets of ground bait you can make. It is possible to fail making ground bait just like you can with cooking. And adding points into ground bait does give you better quality ground bait, which gives longer time of attractiveness, and I think better attractiveness overall as well too. So I kind of zoomed through it a little bit as we were making it, but up in the top corner here, it'll say 30 portions, 6 out of 10. So not bad. Usually if you put 3 points in, you're almost guaranteed to get 7 out of 10 or better on every mix. So I'll take that. Another small roach. Something feels off about rod 2 there. Just looked like the float was popped up for no reason. Still looks like the float is popped up. let's go ahead and finish making all 10 of them. So there's a 3 out of 10. We'll look at the difference in the ground bait here in a little bit as well. 5 out of 10. And each one of these is making 30 balls of ground bait. 2 out of 10. 3 out of 10. This will be the 10th. 2 out of 10. So we did get up to 2% ground bait. Like bait harvesting, as you make ground bait and level it up, you get to use different components in your ground bait. So just to give you an idea, if we look at the 2 out of 10, its duration is 16 hours. And if you go look at the 7 of 10, or whatever the best we had, 9 of 10, duration is also 16 hours. Interesting. Usually there was a difference in the length that it was good for. I guess it is just pure attractiveness to the fish. Or maybe on higher level components, you get longer attractiveness. So decent little crucian here, 785 grams. So I did see this spot over on the VK site that will be in the description below. I also saw the carp spot we were fishing yesterday show up there as well too. So what I'm thinking is when the sun comes up here, we'll go fish for carp again, see how that goes, and see how that crucian gibble mix affects it, if it does at all. So small common carp, tiny common carp. It's interesting, the bottom rod has really done nothing. I don't think it might be a little bit deeper than 1.3 meters out there. That's actually a good idea. I just saw someone catch a roach or a ruff. Let's put tiny hooks on this with red worms and see if there's a ruff over here. With the rain and the temperature, I am having to drink a fair amount of tea to keep my energy and comfort up. As you can see, my comfort's at halfway. So that's the bottom bar on the left there. That's yellow. The best way to improve that is you can drink alcohol, drink tea, drink coffee, that type of thing. Or you can stand next to a campfire as well and just warm up. So the same place you go to cook tea, you just light a fire there. It can help your comfort. And there's times I've actually used that at Belaya because I was fishing right by the campfire to just stay warm. I lit it. So a little bit slow down here. But I don't think the weather conditions are helping that, for one. And what we're going after is a bit of a rare fish as well too. So I expect it to be a little bit slow. I mean, we still have gotten 16 fish. It's been about 20, 25 minutes. Kind of going off of where we stand. So I've got about 18 minutes in this video, and I think we had about 9 minutes in the other one from what I saw. I did reprocess it and I did open it up, so I know I got some portions recorded before I lost power. It's interesting, the file I was actually recording to shows 0 kilobytes of space on disk. So I was really worried when I first came in, but it's definitely using something, because I was able to reprocess it from MKV to MP4, which is good. And I'm glad I used MK4 to record to. I knew it was always a possibility for crashing and figured it was worth having something that if we do crash, we're less likely to lose the recording, since it's not like a game that I can go reload and play the save over. It's an online game. So once something happens, it happens. But a little bit of a spoiler for the spin fishing episode. If you haven't seen that yet, that'll go about 8 hours before this one. The new player experience was actually kind of interesting. So the first 10 levels you get a free present. So when I hit level 10, I figured we were done. Today I hit level 11 and got a pretty decent reward from hitting level 11. Not going to spoil it too much. If you are interested, there is a link to the spin fishing playlist below, and that would be episode 6 of that. But did get a bit of a surprise there. So I think it's a good thing for new players. I think it'll help with retention. I mean, the game is a grind. Getting some stuff free, I think, will open people's eyes, make them a little more interested in playing more. So I think it's a good thing, but just didn't expect it, since I said the first 10 levels, and I got that on level 11. But thinking back on it, you start off at level 1, you don't start off at level 0. So leveling from 10 to 11 was the 10th level up. I'm going to say there's not rough around here as a bottom rod. Bottom rod has done absolutely nothing. Probably about 5 o'clock, I'll move over to the carp spot we were at like yesterday and see what we can get there. And if we don't get action here soon, I may move over there sooner. And that's one piece of advice I will always give is, if you're sitting doing nothing, just because a spot was hot for someone doesn't mean it'll be hot for you. The fish in the game do move around. It's not a sheet fishing game where you have to go to this one spot at this one time with this type of weather and you're guaranteed to catch the good fish. The fish do move around, and what's good one day may not be good tomorrow, a week from now, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. So the spots do move around. Yes, there's some that are common all the time, but if something isn't working for you, just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And if you're sitting there for 3, 4, 5 minutes not doing anything, probably best to just move on and try somewhere else. So even though that spot was good to me early, we got the trophy white bream. I'm going to move on from it. We'll come over here to what I call the heart-shaped green stuff. And we'll put a 1/0 hook on with sweet dough. And then I want to switch my sinker here for the feeder cage. I did buy the 30 gram. I like that mainly. Then we'll go ahead and use our good ground bait since we're trying to get trophies, trying to get the big fish. And go back to a 12 clip here. And cast that out. Tighten that up. Switch over to this rod. Put a 1/0 hook on with sweet dough. Didn't have to change the depth. And we'll come over here. I'll press the wrong button. We'll put a 1/0 hook on and we'll put sweet dough on. Again, over here we're going for big carp. We did catch a trophy gibble here yesterday. Honestly, even just looking at chat with it being rainy, it seems like it was a slow night for a lot of people. Missed that. Yeah, dropping the mouse. We're still early here, probably not the best time to be fishing here, but I expect it might pick up a little bit as we get a little bit into the day. If the rain and the fog wasn't here, I think the sun would just be coming up right now. First fish on our feeder rod with ground bait is a pretty decent one. Did not lock the bail over there, but I saw the float under and wanted to get that. Did get an 800 gram on the bottom rod with ground bait and a 300 gram on the float rod. With how close our float rods are, it's possible the ground bait on the bottom rod is helping it. And you can just throw the ball of ground bait into the water as well. You don't have to use a float rod. So if I hold you, I can pick my crappy ground bait and toss it into the water close to where I'm fishing. And that's supposed to give a 16-hour boost to fish. I honestly have never used ground bait while float fishing, so I don't know how effective that's going to be. It was worth a try. That's part of why I threw out my worst ground bait there. Still digging for worms and mainly red worms. Coming up on 6 a.m. Looks like we're coming up on about 40 minutes of recording so far, so just short of a day. Seeing a bit of a nibble here on 2. Then obviously there's a fish on the bottom rod. With this series focused on float fishing, I want to try to catch as many float fish as I can. That's why I switched back from the bottom rod to this rod when I started seeing the bites. Good fish. Very good fish. Glad I switched. 1.3 kilo gibble. More than likely, the fish that's on the bottom rod will stay on the bottom rod. So you can see the little cage that we've got that has our ground bait in it. And we do use a piece every time you cast. So we had 29, or we had 30 when we first cast out. Now we've got 28. That one was sitting on the ground. Still a pretty fish. Especially for how unexpected it was. I mean, yes, that was what we were fishing for, but the very first fish to pull out to be a trophy, that made me happy. Decent fish here. Another 900 grams. Floats on the wrong side of each other. Getting close to kind of the prime time fishing too. There we go. Reasonable crucian here. Marker, small marker, but it's a marker. Seen bites on all three rods at the same time too. Tiny fish. Not even going to keep that. I don't want the 0-1 silver. For a 61 gram gibble. $728 gibble. Not getting super big carp. Not entirely surprised since it is raining. Is that a sleeper? Yeah. Small sleeper. Still big enough to keep. Not quite a marker, but not a super tiny one either. They're small fish to begin with. Small gibble. Couldn't see the float. It had moved on me. Keep hitting F1 instead of 1. Keep missing fish. Evidently good Sunday to be my dog. He's upside down on the couch. This is a pretty decent fish. Thought it was bigger than it turned out to be, though, unfortunately. This one's a good one. 1.3 kilo crucian. 22.3 on the bottom fishing. 190 experience points. Both float rods are getting nibbled on. God, I love how I didn't move from where I picked up the rod, but the other rod was too close to put it right back down. Some of the frustrating moments in this game. Just like that, too. I know I've got a bite on one, but this is too good of a fish to not pull all the way in. Definitely made the right decision. Got a kilogram gibble on rod 2 and had a 128 gram fish on the other line. This is maybe a marker, but just a bit too small. Not entirely surprised we're catching more small fish with the rain. If you think about it, you can think of it like a bear in the winter. The bigger fish can hibernate in the rain, where the small fish still have to feed to survive. Speaking of small fish, got 15 worms there. That one was on me. Neither wasn't a fish fully on. Or at least I should have known. So my floats have kind of crossed each other. Aha! I just wanted to fix them. Yeah, I'll go with that. I didn't just miss that fish. No. Shaking my head in disgust at missing fish. And again. Oh. It's getting frustrating. Although that's part of what I like about float fishing is you're not guaranteed to always catch the fish. It's somewhat down to your skill as well as luck. Whereas bottom fishing has a lot more luck than skill. Decent little gibble, 35.5% float fishing. And I've gotten gun shy, should have pulled out there, but didn't. Giggity. Good news is the sun's coming out. Bad news is we should be wrapping up here in a few minutes. If the bite rate picks up, I may go a little bit long. If I keep missing fish, I'm going to get frustrated and not go long. Decent fish. There might be one on our bottom rod too. Nope, and it just pushed the bait. Come on. At least I got a fish got away message on that one. All right. We're basically at an hour here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Go sell what we caught. I did not look at the cafe orders here before I came in, so I don't know if we had anything. Let's go look and see. So 37 fish, about 24 hours in the rain. Not bad. Didn't get a kilo eyed. Sell these small gibbles for 4.5. Didn't get perch. Only got 6 crucians over 350. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. The white bream trophy was 19.12 silver and 63 overall silver, so it was a pretty decent day. Most expensive fish we've ever sold. So appreciate everyone watching. have a good one, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.